The wine glass shattered before anyone heard the gunshot. Elena Moore didn't flinch. She stood frozen in the center of Harbor 11, tray balanced in one hand, eyes locked on the spiderweb crack spreading across the restaurant's floor-to-ceiling window. The bullet had missed its target by inches. Outside, fog rolled thick across the San Francisco Bay, swallowing the docks in gray silence. Daniel Rourke looked up from his tablet, confusion flickering across his face. The billionaire tech investor sat alone in booth 7, the same booth he'd requested without reservation 20 minutes ago. His security team hadn't arrived yet. He was early. Vulnerable. Elena's pulse quickened. She scanned the dining room with practiced calm. 12 guests. 3 staff members. 1 cook. The bullet had come from outside, but the real danger was already inside. She'd learned years ago that assassins never worked alone. Her eyes found them immediately. The man by the restrooms adjusted his jacket. The fabric pulled tight across something metallic at his hip. Near the bar, 2 men in business casual nursed drinks they hadn't touched. One checked his watch. The other stared at Rourke's booth without blinking. By the entrance, a 4th man scrolled his phone, but his thumb never moved. And at the window table, the 5th one sat with his back to the glass, fingers drumming a rhythm that matched tactical countdown patterns. 5 operators. 1 target. Elena set down her tray and walked toward Rourke's booth. Her manager, David, intercepted her halfway across the floor. "Table 9 needs refills," he whispered harshly. "We need to evacuate," Elena said quietly. "Now." David's expression shifted from annoyance to confusion. "What are you talking about? That man is about to die." She nodded toward Rourke. "And everyone in this room with him." David laughed nervously. "Elena, you're being dramatic. Go help." The lights went out. Screams erupted in the darkness. Elena dropped to the floor as the first gunshot cracked through the restaurant. Glass exploded. Someone fell hard near the kitchen. Another shot. Then another. The acoustics told her everything. Suppressed weapons, multiple shooters, coordinated fire. She crawled toward booth 7 using the sound of panic as cover. Her fingers found the edge of Rourke's table. He was still there, breathing fast, pressed against the leather seat. "Don't move," she whispered. "Don't speak." "Who are you?" His voice trembled. "Someone who's going to keep you alive." Emergency lights flickered on, casting the restaurant in blood-red shadows. Elena saw the bodies immediately. 2 of Rourke's private security team lay motionless near the entrance. They'd been waiting outside. They'd been first. The 5 men moved as one unit now, masks covering their faces, weapons drawn. The leader pointed at Rourke's booth. "Target acquired. Extract protocol. Alive." They wanted him breathing. That meant time. That meant opportunity. Elena grabbed Rourke's wrist and yanked him toward the kitchen. He stumbled, expensive shoes slipping on spilled wine. One of the masked men spotted them and raised his weapon. Elena snatched a serving tray from the nearest table and hurled it like a discus. The metal edge caught the gunman square in the throat. He went down choking, weapon clattering across the floor. The others turned. "Go." Elena shoved Rourke through the kitchen doors. The space was narrow, stainless steel gleaming under flickering lights. The cook had already fled through the back exit. Smart. Elena locked the door behind them and scanned her options. Industrial ovens. Knives. Fire extinguisher. Grease traps. A lifetime of training kicked in, muscle memory overriding the soft waitress persona she'd worn for 3 years. The kitchen door exploded inward. 2 men entered, weapons sweeping the space. Elena moved before they could acquire targets. She grabbed the fire extinguisher from the wall and unleashed a cloud of white powder directly into their faces. Blind and disoriented, they stumbled forward. She swung the canister hard. The first man's nose shattered with a wet crunch. The second tried to aim through the chemical fog. Elena drove her elbow into his temple, then kicked his knee sideways. He collapsed screaming. Rourke stared at her, eyes wide with shock. "What the hell are you?" "Move. Now." "Before we start, please hit the subscribe button, turn on notifications so you never miss our next powerful story." She dragged him toward the back exit, but footsteps thundered from that direction too. Trapped. The remaining 3 operators were converging, sealing every escape route. Elena's mind calculated angles, distances, timing. The kitchen had one advantage: close quarters. Trained soldiers became clumsy in confined spaces. He could use that. She pushed Rourke behind the industrial oven and grabbed 2 chef's knives from the magnetic strip. The blades felt familiar in her hands. Too familiar. The door burst open again. The lead operator entered first, weapon raised. Elena threw the first knife in one fluid motion. It embedded in his shoulder, forcing him to drop his gun. She closed the distance before he could recover, driving the second blade through his thigh. He went down hard. The fourth man rushed in, firing wildly. Bullets sparked off steel surfaces. Elena used the oven as cover, waiting for the pause between magazines. When it came, she moved. She was on him in seconds. A strike to the wrist disarmed him. A knee to the solar plexus doubled him over. She grabbed his head and slammed it into the edge of the prep counter. He slumped unconscious. 4 down. 1 left. The final operator was smarter. He didn't rush in. Instead, his voice called from the dining room. Elena Moore. That's your name, isn't it? She froze. Or should I say Lieutenant Commander Elena Reyes. Maritime Intelligence Division Unit 7. Officially killed in action Jakarta operation 3 years ago. He laughed. You've been hiding well. Rourke looked at her with new understanding. And fear. They know who you are, he whispered. Doesn't matter. Elena's voice was cold. They're still going to lose. She grabbed a container of cooking oil and poured it across the kitchen floor, creating a slick barrier. Then she pulled Rourke toward the back exit, moving fast. They burst into the night. Fog wrapped around them like a living thing, thick and suffocating. The dock stretched ahead, wooden planks slick with moisture. Behind them, the 5th operator emerged from the restaurant. He wasn't rushing. He knew she had nowhere to go. Rourke's coming with me, the man called out. You can walk away. Disappear again. We don't need you. Elena positioned herself between the killer and the billionaire. You're not taking him. You're one person. We're a network. This isn't your fight. It became my fight the moment you walked into my restaurant. The operator raised his weapon. Elena had no gun. No cover. Just fog and 40 feet of open dock. She ran straight at him. The move shocked him. Most people ran away from bullets. She ran toward them. He fired 3 times, but Elena was already zigzagging, using his muzzle flash to track his position in the fog. He closed the distance impossibly fast. The fight was brutal and efficient. He was trained. She was better. Years of dormant instinct flooded back. Strikes, counters, pressure points. She disarmed him in 4 moves and put him on his back in 6. His head cracked against the dock. He didn't get up. Elena stood over him, breathing hard. Blood dripped from a cut on her forehead. Her waitress uniform was torn and stained. She looked nothing like the quiet woman who'd served coffee that morning. Rourke stared at her from the shadows. Who are you really? Someone who was supposed to stay dead. Sirens wailed in the distance. Red and blue lights flickered through the fog. Police. Paramedics. Questions she couldn't answer. Elena turned toward the water. A small boat bobbed at the end of the dock, tied loosely to a post. Escape route. Always have an escape route. Wait. Rourke stepped forward. You saved my life. Let me help you. Money. New identity. Protection. Whatever you need. I don't need your help. They knew your name. They'll come back. Next time with more men. Better men. Elena paused. He was right. The footage from tonight would spread. Security cameras. Cell phones. Witnesses. The harbor ghost would trend on social media by morning. Her face would be analyzed. Her past would surface. 3 years of anonymity. Gone. Why were they after you? She asked. Rourke hesitated. I'm acquiring a company. Meridian Global. They're connected to people who don't want to be exposed. Powerful people. Government. Worse. Private military contractors. Black budget operations. I didn't know until tonight. Elena's blood ran cold. She knew those networks. She'd worked for them once. Before Jakarta. Before everything burned. You've made enemies you can't outrun, she said quietly. Then help me fight them. The sirens grew louder. Police were seconds away. Elena looked at the boat, then at Rourke, then at the 5 unconscious men she'd left scattered through Harbor 11. She'd saved 1 billionaire tonight. But the world he'd stumbled into didn't forgive loose ends. They'd send more operators. Better ones. And eventually they'd send someone she couldn't beat. Unless she struck first. If I do this, Elena said slowly, we do it my way. No security teams. No public appearances. You disappear with me until I figure out who sent them. Agreed. And when this is over, you bury my past. Permanently. Rourke extended his hand. Deal. Elena didn't shake it. Instead, she pulled him toward the boat as police cars screeched to a halt outside the restaurant. Officers poured into Harbor 11, guns drawn, searching for survivors. They wouldn't find Elena Moore. By the time investigators reviewed the security footage, she was already gone. The internet exploded within hours. Viral videos showed a waitress dismantling trained killers with precision that defied explanation. Theories filled Reddit threads and Twitter feeds. Former military? Guardian angel? The harbor ghost. Within 24 hours, someone leaked her real name. Elena Reyes. Unit 7. Jakarta mission. The classified files were incomplete, heavily redacted, but the message was clear. She was supposed to be dead. Now she was the most wanted woman in two worlds. The criminal underworld and the intelligence community that had erased her. Rourke sat across from her in a safe house outside Sacramento, watching news coverage on mute. They're saying you killed 15 people in Jakarta. I didn't kill anyone in Jakarta. Elena's voice was flat. I was set up. My entire team was. By who? That's what I'm going to find out. She pulled up a photograph on her laptop. A man in his 50s, silver hair, expensive suit. Cold eyes. Victor Kane. CEO of Meridian Global. He was the asset we were supposed to extract in Jakarta. Instead, he orchestrated our ambush. 3 years later, you're trying to acquire his company. She looked at Rourke. That's not coincidence. You think he sent those men tonight? I know he did. He's been cleaning up loose ends. I'm the last one left from Jakarta. Rourke leaned back. So what do we do? Elena closed the laptop. We go after him. Before he comes after us again. That's insane. He has resources. Connections. Armies. So did the 5 men at Harbor 11. Elena stood. They're dead. He's next. But even as she said it, her phone buzzed. Unknown number. She almost ignored it, but something made her answer. The voice on the other end was filtered, mechanical. Lieutenant Commander Reyes. We've been looking for you. Who is this? Unit 7. We never disbanded. We just went underground. And we need you back. Elena's hand tightened on the phone. Unit 7 died in Jakarta. No. Unit 7 was reborn. Kane thought he destroyed us. He was wrong. We've been rebuilding. Watching. Waiting for the right moment to strike. Why now? Because you just declared war on him. And war requires soldiers. The call ended. Elena stared at the phone, mind racing. If Unit 7 still existed, everything changed. She wasn't alone. But she also couldn't trust ghosts from a past that had tried to kill her. Rourke watched her carefully. What is it? I think I just got recruited into a war I didn't know was happening. By who? People I thought were dead. Outside, a car pulled up to the safe house. Headlights cut through the darkness. Elena's hand moved to the gun she'd taken from one of the operators. 3 figures stepped out. No masks this time. No weapons visible. But she recognized the walk. The posture. The way they moved as one unit. Her team. Her family. Alive. The leader pulled back her hood. Dark skin. Sharp eyes. A scar running down her left cheek that hadn't been there 3 years ago. Captain Marissa Chin. Elena's former commanding officer. Reyes. Chin smiled. Welcome back from the dead. Elena stood in the doorway, gun still raised, mind splitting between relief and suspicion. How? Same way you did. We got out before the explosion. Scattered. Regrouped. And we've been hunting Kane ever since. Why didn't you find me sooner? We needed you invisible. Until tonight you were our ace in the hole. Now you're exposed. So we accelerate. Accelerate what? Chin stepped closer. The mission we should have finished in Jakarta. Taking down Victor Kane and everyone who helped him. Meridian Global is just the surface. Underneath is a network that's been selling intelligence, weapons, and wars to the highest bidder for decades. Elena lowered her gun slowly. And you want me to help you destroy it? No. Chen's smile widened. We want you to lead the strike. Behind her, the other two team members stepped into the light. Faces Elena had mourned for 3 years. Faces she'd dreamed about on the nights when the guilt wouldn't let her sleep. Her family wasn't dead. And now they were offering her a chance at revenge. But in the shadows beyond the safe house, other eyes watched. Other forces moved. Victor Kane sat in his penthouse office, reviewing the same viral footage everyone else had seen. The waitress. The ghost. Elena Reyes. He made a single phone call. She surfaced. Mobilize Protocol Black. I want Unit 7 erased. Permanently this time. Across the city, in a facility that didn't exist on any map, a team of elite operators received their orders. Not 5 men this time. 50. And they weren't coming for a billionaire. They were coming for a legend. Elena stood at the crossroads of impossible choices. Disappear again and live in the shadows forever. Join her resurrected team and finish a war that had already killed her once. Or trust the billionaire she'd saved and try to outmaneuver enemies on every side. She looked at Chen. At Rourke. At the weapon in her hand. The harbor ghost had walked out a legend. But legends didn't survive by hiding. They survived by burning everything down. Tell me the plan, Elena said quietly. Chen's smile turned predatory. We're going to make Victor Kane wish he'd killed us when he had the chance. And somewhere in the fog-covered bay, the ghost of Harbor 11 prepared to become something far more dangerous. A reckoning.